What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another one. Well, as promised, we got the LML on the stand. She's good to go. That's ready for another time. We are getting back into our 6.5 content and our LBZ content. Not this one, but this one. However, I want to take care of this one first. We got to go over a couple things on it. I want to start actually tearing into the brakes. That's a lie. By the end of this video, this sumbitch ain't gonna have no brakes on it. That's Lily. But she ain't have no brakes. But what we do got a problem with, right there, that's a problem. It is getting to that time of year. We got the 20s back on Lana, so we need to throw the 20s on this, and we also need to get the 20s back on Lucille. But I want to start going over this thing. The exhaust situation is still an issue. You guys remember? I want to say it was last year, but we figured out that the exhaust was packed. We cut it short a little bit. It's still not breathing properly, so I want to go ahead and get that. Get the truck up in the air. Get the exhaust cut off. Get the exhaust cut off. Line. Get the exhaust cut off. Line. Get the exhaust cut off. Get one on there. Get it breathing properly. And just because, honestly, these things actually sound kind of gnarly with a straight pipe on them. Going to go ahead and we're going to call that the before. And I mean, realistically, that's the only exhaust note we got going off of this thing, just because I had hacked it and then I got the truck running. Also, I gotta say, the old gal is looking fresh on the factory GMC 20-inch wheels. Now, granted, they're not factory to this year, clearly, but I tell you what, man, this I'm gonna try to keep this truck stock, like stock appearing. I'm gonna try to pay as much homage to it as possible, just because, I mean, this rig right here, this one in particular, they're both 94s. Obviously, if this is a Duramax, that one's a Detroit. Just gotta keep some nostalgia, you know? Which, on that note, we were gonna go ahead and we were gonna jump into the front end on this thing. I lied. I'm gonna get it up in the air. I'm gonna hack the exhaust off of it. I need to go into town. I need to get some greasers for this thing. And while I'm rolling around underneath it, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at all the other stuff too. I've got some wiring issues going on because I don't have anything at the rear of the truck. And for those of you that don't know, this thing sat in a field forever, and the mice kind of made one hell of a home on her. It's a classy rig though. You know, I told myself that all I was going to do was get the truck up in the air. Get the truck up in the air and pull the old shit off, and yet here we are. Now all I have is just a tail section mounted, which this came off a Duramax. It actually came off Low Gangster's Duramax, and well, we're gonna go under here in a minute, and I'm gonna show you guys that the shit lines up directly. But can we just appreciate how good chrome looks against this patinaed blue? My goodness, like, holy shit, I'm not even mad that I gotta clean it up. I'm impressed. So I gotta get my ass out here with some chrome polish. I gotta clean this up because the bumper looks like shit. The tip looks like shit. The wheels look like shit. That wheel looks like shit. That exhaust tip looks like shit. We're not talking about you, though. The bumper's decent, but we gotta go ahead and clean that up too. All the way up in the bed. Yeah. Stand at the end of that pipe. Put your foot on it. So that way it takes care of the sharp edges. Yeah, we don't like sharp edges.
No.
Yep, go ahead and touch it again. Alright, nerds, here's what we got. We got a crushed ass downpipe. We lopped the end of it off. Not the cleanest, but she'll do. Also, yes, we're kind of balling on a budget here. Alright, this is just, I need my yard dog. We got our Duramax pipe here, which this will slide right over that pipe, so we went ahead and we notched this out right here. We're going to use a clamp to hold that down. Now that pipe is going to sit in a few inches, so I'm not really worried about an exhaust leak here. Once again, we're kind of balling on a budget here, but we're going to do it as right and as hillbilly as possible because, well, I don't give a shit. It's my money, it's my truck. I'm kind of going to do what I see fit, but also I got a bunch of shit laying around. I don't feel like taking it to the scrap yard, and I also don't feel like buying pipe. You know what I'm saying? I've been out of the 6.5 game for a while. That is not going to stay. That is not fucking happening. That thing's a piece of shit. We're going to go ahead and throw that downpipe back on, and then we're going to put that front piece on and see how it fits. And then I want to see if I can get this piece in there and line those flanges up. That way I can just bolt it together. That'd be pretty sweet. Just kind of start getting a feel for how shit's going to lay down in there. I've got a couple marks on the pipe right now on how I think I want it to go. Little bogey math going on there. But I guess realistically what I'm trying to say, if I'm trying to say anything at all, is I have no idea how any of this is going to work. I have an idea of how I would like it to work, and there's a pretty good chance that it won't. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. But it's a 50-50, and I've noticed a lot nowadays, people don't believe in the 50-50 thing. They only believe in 50% of it, and that's, what if this doesn't work? And then they get discouraged, they don't do nothing with it, they're scrolling on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and then, nothing happens. Well, what if it does work? Normalize that. What if it does work? What if I can pull this off? So, anyway, we're gonna lay some shit out. Alright, so here's where a feller landed. Like I said, this pipe, she goes in here a good amount. The downpipe clamp, she's still loose, so we can go ahead, we could squeeze that down, we'll get a clamp for it. And then my two pipes will line up. The flanges, they will bolt to themselves. I've got that set over right now because of this just kind of pops into this. And if I've got to shorten this guy just a little bit, so be it. Put the slats in it, which actually I'm going to put slats in this. I have the 3.5 to 4-inch adapter, which is also kind of why I'm doing this, but I got to pop these off and relocate them. Now obviously not everybody, you know, resources are key here. If I have the knowledge to cut things and weld things back together, I have the resources to be able to cut things and weld things together. And you know, when you grew up broke as a joke and you got into the diesel game like a fucking artard, you know, you kind of learned some shit, but we've all been there. Don't even fucking tell me you haven't. But anyway, it's factory Duramax piping. It's 3.5 inch going up to 4 inch. It's just a little 6.5 Detroit. I mean, it doesn't need a whole lot, but it needs something that's not all shitted together, which, I mean, this is kind of shitted. It's like proper, I don't know, it's a little classier. It's only got one engine block in the yard. How about that? It's that classy. So, but anyway, onward. All right. I guess just a quick look. She ain't perfect, but so, like I said, we cut slits in that so that way we could crush it down. Connector there. Got our flange there. And then tied it in there. I'm gonna weld that shut, but it holds. It is what it is. It ain't perfect, but it works. That's all it's got to do. So the last thing to do now is put it on the ground. Let's have some fun with it. because it levels up, because I gotta do the TDC relearn. I gotta do it this way. Normally I'd be walking around with a camera in my hand, but I mean, look at this. This right here is why this thing came from the factory with mud flaps that said the heartbeat of America in it right there. Now don't get me wrong, I know she's GMC and it was usually her bow tie counterpart that got it, but can we just, I gotta tell you, man, this little truck, I'm loving it. Even with the shit in the back, the eyesore of the shit in the back, this thing looks amazing. I mean, it's got newer GMC 20s on it, which is fine because, you know, it's a little nice OEM flare. It does it for me. I know in this video we were supposed to get the electrical figured out, which I did. I found it. Rodents chewed through the damn harness, and I know we were gonna get to the brakes figured out and doing a service and this, that, and the other thing. Well, it didn't work out that way. However, I did get the grease certs that I need to swap out with the ones that don't take grease, because first off, we want to make sure that everything takes grease, but we did get the exhaust done. We got the exhaust wrapped up on it, and the truck is actually running a hell of a lot better because now the damn thing can frickin' breathe. But man, dude, this thing, Jason Aldean had it right, dude. It's just a fucking time machine. Now don't get me wrong, I'm biased because, you know, a 94 GMC has got a special place in my heart, but look at the Archer. People can't see the exhaust tip. Thanks, bud. Even dirty and dented up, man. Rig. Absolute rig. But there's really not a whole lot more I can say about it without drowning out and talking for fucking hours on end. But we're gonna finish this video out the right way. You know, we got plenty more to come on it. It's not going anywhere. So, but anyway, take care, God bless, be good to one another. We will see you on the next one, and we're gonna end this video the only way that I know how, and that's let's get a cold start on this rig. See you guys.